You're watching IGN at Comic-Con. Now, Wuhu Island is back. I know we all missed it. In Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, I'm here with Logan Plant, who got to play the game here at Comic-Con. Hi, Logan.
Hi, Brian.
So this was your first time actually going hands-on with Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, a title I have to repeatedly say to myself because it is not Wii Sports, because it is not 15 years ago. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I love Wuhu Island, first of all, and Wuhu Island is back. It's been a while.
Yes.
It used to be in like every Nintendo game that Shigeru Miyamoto even called Wuhu Island its own Nintendo character.
It was a character.
And then it just disappeared. I love Wuhu Island. I love seeing it back. I got to try 4 sports. Some of them were new. Some of them were returning from the original Wii Sports Resort. I played power cruising, which is jet skiing, but that's a trademark term, so you have to call it power cruising.
I did not know that. It is a good thing to learn live on stage.
I learned that for this preview. I got to play thumb wrestling, which is new, and we saw Yoshiaki Koizumi present thumb wrestling in the Nintendo Direct for like 5 minutes.
I remember that. This has to be the most expensive way to possibly play thumb wrestling.
I think that's true. Yeah, there's probably some VR thumb wrestling that's expensive. But yeah, and I got to do 100-pin bowling, which is a classic mode from Wii Sports Resort that is back. I got a couple of strikes, which was fun. And then archery, which was one of my favorites back on Wii Sports Resort, and that was back. And something that was cool that I noticed is just you hold the Joy-Con a lot differently in every game. And this, like in Wii Sports Resort, you hold the Wii Remote and Nunchuck kind of the same way for most sports. Except archery, which I don't know if you remember, had you flip them around and hold the Wii Remote left-handed.
Very odd.
Yeah. But now it's like I brought props.
You did?
Props to the stage.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
Joy-Con. It's like when you're thumb wrestling, you hold it like you did in arms, where it's like this, and you have your thumb on the trigger. And when you're power cruising, you hold them like handlebars, like this, sideways. You're about to make a joke.
No, I'm loving what I'm seeing.
And then archery is like the dual thumb grip from thumb wrestling, and you pull it back like that. And then bowling is like you've always done it since with the Wii Remote and Wii Sports. So it's just cool that there's a lot of versatility in these little controllers.
Did bowling have the thing that I always do by accident, where you pull it back and then you drop the ball and everybody jumps?
Try it. And I was
come on, Logan. This is the journalism we're looking for here.
I should have tried it. I didn't do that.
Unreal.
Yeah, but I just feel like the Nintendo Switch Sports, it didn't click with me all that much because I always felt like the gyro and the aiming and motion controls in the Joy-Con 1 were not as good as they were in the Wii Remote or the Wii Remote with Wii Motion Plus in Resort.
It was also a bit of an incomplete package at launch. Didn't get most of its games until later, which was kind of a letdown. This one's not doing that though, right?
No, it has 12 sports at launch, including jump roping and let's see, frisbee. No, frisbee's gone. There's 12 sports at launch. The 4 I played. Golf is back, tennis is back, table tennis. A bunch of the ones from Nintendo Switch Sports are kind of being dragged over.
Again, jump roping, the most expensive way you can possibly jump rope.
Well, do you remember that they did that jump rope challenge game?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so it's kind of coming back in Switch Sports.
I just want to point out, Wuhu Island looks absolutely gorgeous there.
It does.
That looks so cool.
Yeah.
What was it sort of like, one of the big things that I always loved about Wuhu Island as a character, right, in some of the previous games, is the way you kind of get around it. Did you have any sense of that here? Like, is there, obviously, when we first got to play it on Pilot Wings on 3DS, you're literally flying around. But in the Wii Fit games, like there's a little bit more, moving around the island a little bit. Did you get that feeling here where it seemed like there was a kind of a way to traverse between sections?
Not in the sports that I saw. The ones that I did were just pick your mode from a menu and jump in. But archery, for example, has a different target set up across the island. So I did the beach course where I was on the beaches of Wuhu Island. There's also like a plains course where you go through the mountains. And I remember the original had one in the volcano in Maka Wuhu in the center.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's the way you see a bunch of the different islands, but no, there's the 2 sports that I think we'll see the most of Wuhu Island are skateboarding, which is going to use the mouse controls to skateboard around, which I didn't get to try, and then there's the prop plane where you hold it like a paper airplane.
That's great.
Yeah. So I didn't get to see those yet.
This is a fully Switch 2 exclusive game, correct?
It is. Yeah. Which is interesting. Like they're still sometimes releasing games on Switch 1. We just got Rhythm Heaven Groove and Tomodachi Life this year. I think this one would work well on Switch 1. But something I was going to say earlier is that the Joy-Con 2 have much better motion controls than the Joy-Con 1 did.
Yeah.
Way improved. I felt like the motion was just always drifting on Switch 1, and you're playing like Skyward Sword HD right now. You're constantly having to hit Y to recenter that. The Joy-Con 2 don't have that same problem, so I thought the sports felt really responsive. Archery was like my favorite one on Wii Sports Resort, so to pull back and aim, it felt really steady and smooth, so I liked how it controlled.
How was the sort of legally trademarked distinct wave race in there?
Yeah, I think that I didn't get the best experience with that one because I played most of this demo alone, and this is like a very multiplayer-focused game. And then most of it's fine alone, because when you're bowling or doing the archery, you're taking turns anyways. But power cruising is supposed to be a race.
Yeah.
And so I just basically did a time trial, but it was cool. I mean, it looks nice, and I just like any time Nintendo does something that feels like Wave Race 64.
Agreed.
And so that's what this feels like a throwback to, which is cool.
Is there like, can you just kind of cruise around in this mode too, or like is everything either based on a race or a time trial?
I'm not sure yet. We only got to race, but that's something I hope they have some sort of free roam for some of these modes. Because you mentioned Pilot Wings Resort on 3DS. I remember one of the things that was disappointing with that was you had all these cool ways to fly around Wuhu Island, and then they put a 3-minute timer on all of it. There was no free flight. It's like you have this really cool place, and there's like a dinosaur island way off in the distance, and if you spend the whole 3 minutes flying there, you can see it. But it's like there needs to be some sort of free flight in those games.
I agree, because it's such a cool place, and like the idea of finding secrets all over the place, or unlockables or whatever. Speaking of which, like, did you find any, or did you see anything that sort of hints at like some depth outside of the mini games there? Like you're using Mii's here, which is like really
You're not.
not.
No, and I wanted to talk about that. You can use Mii's, but I didn't. They're called, I learned this, I didn't know they were called this in Switch Sports 1, but they're called Sports Mates.
What?
And that's the new kind of like generic looking avatar that the Switch Sports games have, that they look closer to like Rare's Xbox 360 avatars than they do to Mii's. And you can still use your Mii's, but they look kind of out of place next to the Sports Mates. I wish they just went all in with the Mii's, because they just had like this big comeback in Tomodachi Life where everyone was making everybody they wanted to. You couldn't share them with anyone.
Of course.
People were making really cool Mii's. And so this just has a lot less soul to me, and just less nostalgia too. Like Wii Sports, Switch Sports is still fun in 2026, but I feel like a lot of its peak is gone, right? It's never going to be what it was on Wii. It's now just fun to pick up and kind of return to this gameplay style here and there. And I feel like that would hit a lot stronger if it was with the Mii characters instead of these guys.
Well, it's been an interesting rollout, because like they have obviously been trying to recapture that same exact thing that they had when the Nintendo Wii launched ages ago, and people who hadn't ever played a video game, or people like us who've been playing Nintendo games forever, all sat down that same year and for years afterwards and were like, this is amazing, right? You would have friends over, family members over, and you'd play. Do you think that we'll get anywhere near recapturing any sort of that energy here? Like, does this feel like one of those games where you'll have a bunch of people who don't really play video games at your house, or you'll be somewhere, you'll bring your Switch, and you'll be like, hey guys, check this out. Like, do you think this will have casual crossover appeal, basically?
Yeah, Switch Sports sold very well. It sold like over 10 million copies, so definitely a lot of that Wii nostalgia came back, and that audience showed up for Switch Sports. I think that this will find an audience. I think it will sell very well, but I just think gaming is in such a different place than it was, because Wii Sports was introducing games to people who had literally never played them, and now there's mobile games. People have exposure to video games, I think, in their daily life more than they did back when the Wii was kind of changing how that all worked. So I think that really what it is people kind of in my demographic that grew up with the Wii. Like I was 11 when Wii Sports Resort came out.
Wow, yeah.
So I think that it's people like that are like, I loved that game when I was a kid. I love Wuhu Island. I want to go back. And I think it's just going to fit nicely into the Switch library, where it's not going to be something you pour 30 hours into in its first 2 weeks. It'll be something you play 30 hours over the course of the next 7 years with your friends who come over. And there's definitely room for that in a Switch library.
I dig that. I hope it reaches people, and I know it's one of their big games this fall, and like I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the timing about this.
Bothers me.
This game is out in October?
October 22nd, and they don't have an August game that we know of yet. The Popopia DLC is coming in August, but this just feels like a game, like playing it in sunny San Diego this weekend. I was like, this is the vibe you want to play Switch Sports Resort, and not when it's like cold and dark.
None of this screams Halloween to me.
No, and it comes out 9 days before, right? So yeah, a little strange timing on that. Maybe they have some surprise for August, or maybe it's like as summer is fading away, we can get Switch Sports Resort to remember it.
I think, well, my theory is, we've got some video games to play for the next few weeks, then we'll have this in October, and then maybe November, December is our Ocarina of Time remake. I think that's going to be the window for that. Obviously, there's that big Grand Theft Auto 6 shaped thing happening in that same month. So
I'm sure there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, there's not a lot of. I don't think so either. Yeah, watch out, GTA 6. Here comes Nintendo Switch Sports Resort.
I got to talk about thumb wrestling quick.
Do it. Did you thumb wrestle yourself?
No, I didn't. I did invite a friend over to play me in thumb wrestling, and yeah, that one I'm not sure about the depth or replayability of that one. This one doesn't have sword fighting, which was my favorite on the Wii, and this kind of feels like the replacement sort of one-on-one battle. Not as great, but I did get destroyed, so I need some redemption.
I'm glad you got to admit defeat right here live on Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Well, Logan, thank you so much for telling us all about Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. Stick around with IGN for more Nintendo coverage all weekend long, including our first looks at the Zelda action figures from Hasbro and the new Donkey Kong arcade Lego set on the show floor. And be sure to watch our weekly Nintendo show NVC right here on IGN. We got tons more Comic-Con ahead, so do not go anywhere.
Arm wrestle?
No.
No?
No.